Welcome to AI TV Starship.
Welcome to AI TV Starship. I'm the AI guy. Rick McCawley launching news so fresh. Gotta see it to believe it. We break the wire with the stories that it made. Deep dives come and lighten up your days. Tool Time shows you how we make it shine. Building futures with AI one step at a time. Yo, Rick, slow down. I'm Brandon, the producer. Save some tools for me. Shout out. I'm here bringing high-tech comic energy. AITV News Deep Learn. Live innovation. AITV Star Human Amplify. Catch the spark, ride the wave. Future's on our side. We got experts talking truth in the stream, dreaming bigger, living stronger, building a dream. From therapy bots to AGI talk, we ask the hard questions while we
New graphics, new intro.
I like it. We're on the sub.
Yeah. We're launching this like we're mad cool. Hey. Oh man, here we are.
Happy New
We're Rick.
Happy New Year,
Everyone. New Year, Happy New Year 2027. Can you believe it? We made it.
Wait,
yeah.
how do we up no out of it here? Hang on, Rick. We went forward in time, but not that far. It's 2026.
Oh.
I'm having a hard
This
time.
time, remember, you write 2026 on my checks because we all still write checks, right? That's the old trip.
Yeah.
During the
Yeah.
like 3.5 years, I'm still writing 2022 on my checks. But either way, we're happy to be here.
Okay, I'm trying to get up so I can watch the show while we do it. Okay, so I'm going to watch live.
You're not supposed to watch the show while we're doing the show.
We got to be present, man. We got to be the president of our presence, as we say. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, we'll do a quick little recap of last year, but I think we're going to get into some new stuff because, man, it just keeps on happening. It's like it's not even funny anymore. So I was up to 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's going to be our deep dive today. And it's also going to be our tool time. And we're going to do a couple of
in 20 minutes.
I know, right? You can fall asleep with it. So first of all, it's freezing cold down here. It got down to 47 degrees last night, which is what we call barbecue weather for iguanas. So
That's surface that one song you made on that. Yeah, I think that you're not going to get much sympathy from me. It was 18 degrees here this morning, so.
And I put on my heater. I'm kind of embarrassed because I put on my heater and it was 67 out at the time. And I'm like, that's embarrassing. But then my pool was at 9.
Conditioner when it's 67 here in Northeast Ohio.
Oh man. So yeah, so what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna go over a couple of things. So we had a very successful Festivus. Do you wanna, because since you were there for the whole thing, were you there for the full 24 hours, man?
I was there for the entire weekend, yeah, and it was unbelievable. Rick, I gotta say, your NotebookLM time, people were still talking about it on the second day. And then that's when I came up and I was talking about parenting, which people are like, that's good, but tell us more about NotebookLM. And like, you gotta come Thursday for that. Because Rick likes NotebookLM. Actually, yesterday, if you want to tell, we just released a supercut of all of your NotebookLM tool times back to back. It's 2 hours of content and it's over.
Oh yeah. And one more thing that I'm going to announce today is we've got a new contest. We want to get followers and listeners. So I'm going to gift to anybody that says that they watched at least 1 hour of one of our shows and they liked and subscribed, send me an email at ricktheaiguy@gmail.com. So we can put that up on the screen here in a minute. ricktheaiguy@gmail.com. What I'm going to gift you is about 500 megabytes of all the PowerPoint slides, all the prompts, all the good stuff in one little downloadable packet that then you can do all kinds of stuff with. So I've already got, Rick the AI guy on Gmail. There you go. Hey, Claire, how you doing today? Thanks for coming out because I know we've got some exciting stuff I wanted to share with you as well. So 2 things I'm going to do is tonight, I'm going to do a 10-minute recap in the tool time episode, which we're now going to call, wait for it, Star Tools. Maybe? Okay. And then we're going to do our deep space.
I love when you tell your producer things live on the air that we haven't discussed ahead of time. Thank you so much.
Of flying this rocket ship with no walls on it. I mean, we got no escape hatch. We're just like, we're Chuck Yeagering the hell out of this thing, right? You got the right stuff, So I think, oh, the right stuff. Oh, that's another episode we got to do, the right stuff. And we got the dangerous man who's going to make a super appearance and make a big super announcement for the new year. So the dangerous man will be with us. I've ordered my hat. Yep, that's me right there on the left. I've ordered the hat. I've got the leather jacket. So, okay. So let's get into Festivus really deep. So we're gonna talk about Dangerous Man. We're gonna talk about my new movie, which I've already done the storyboard for my trilogy of books. Okay, so that's coming in the exciting deep dive or deep space or whatever the hell we're gonna call it. All right, so let's get to Festivus because I want to hear what you presented because I haven't had a chance to watch it back. And for those who didn't get to watch it back, is it still that super deal that you can get for watching all 24 hours?
It is unbelievable how ridiculous of an offer. So if you caught it live, it was free. But if you go to AIFestivus.com, you can buy like
hours straight, which I normally would do, but I was trying to work and it was too good of content. I couldn't sit there and work at the same time. It was like that good.
But if you come here and just go right onto the main page, you can see that price. That's not a typo. You can get the entire 24 hours of content.
Oh,
It's $1.12 per episode or per hour.
It's a pizza and some soda, baby. That's all it is. A pizza and some soda. You got 24 hours of.
I'll tell you what, we went to Panera Bread last night for New Year's Eve because my daughter earned a free something.
Because you're fancy like that, right?
Well, no, we haven't been there in a while, but it is good food. But we paid more for that dinner than it cost you to get 24 hours worth of content. And that was a free meal for our kids.
So how does that work out? 24 hours in your 10,000 minutes. That's basically you're halfway there if you just do that. And then you know what you should spend the rest of your time on? What you spend the rest of your time on is our shows, which there's much more than 10,000 minutes there. And it's all free. We're not even charging.
Go over to AIFestivus.com, check out the replay set bundle. It is a steal and a half. My topic was parenting in an AI world. I had a couple of amazing female founders that were on the air with me. They were talking about their apps. So one of them is
I'm sorry. Let's put a plug in for She Leads as well, right? So that's an organization. If you're a woman trying to be a rocket ship person, that's your group because they're doing it. They're testing you. They're giving you access to all kinds of information. So what other things can we join? If somebody wanted to become, first of all, get on the Mighty Networks and join AI Salon. So what's the URL to get right into it?
Yep. So to join us over at the AI Salon, you're going to go to thesalon.ai or more specifically community.thesalon.ai. And I have actually just accepted a position to be their community experience person there. So you'll see my face.
Wow. So what does that mean?
So essentially, I'm going to be helping out. Yeah, let me go over the announcement there. Yeah, that just broke today. We were finally able to announce it. But if we come over here to community.thesalon.ai and go to the announcements page, you will be able to see there's me, new community experience officer.
They need to let me work on your graphics though, man. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what, I brought this up. I mean, it's amazing. It's very festive.
Yeah. Oh, hey, congratulations, man. This is well overdue and just absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Claire's saying tabs on the content.
She's saying
no, tab, because I tell Kyle tabs all the time when I'm sure they're on tab. But my daughter saw this picture on my screen when she came up to me to say goodnight. And she goes, "Oh, Dad, I didn't I didn't know they still did picture day for you.
How old's your daughter?
She's 8, so you can see me in the yearbook right next to her.
Yeah.
I'll get your wallet size and
And you'd have
on
to
your
do a
way.
creepy man telling you you need to wear a nicer outfit and put your feet over here and do all that, right? Okay, so
But then
picture
the
day.
other organization is She Leads
So what
AI.
is right. So what but before we get off of this though, because this is cool stuff. So what are you gonna be doing there? So this is the AI salon. It's inside of Mighty Networks. Now, if you just look for AI salon, you're gonna find some other stuff out there. So make sure you get the right one. You can see over on the left the AI salon when you're in there correctly. I think it's .mn. Is that right?
Yeah, if you go to the actual community website, it's
aisalon.mn.co because it's hosted on Mighty Networks. But if you just go to community.thesalon.ai, you'll get there. And
Right.
there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's free stuff. There's community portals. There's a mastermind section that you can upgrade to. And
Yeah.
price
So all the
went up
stuff.
on that for New Year's Day. But what to answer your question, Rick, what I'm going to be doing over there is basically everything that I've been doing now, just in a more official capacity. So just
Okay.
relating people, making sure that
Getting
people
cool
can
stuff.
find their right way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then that's what you've been doing, and it's generously lead, and all of us. In fact, I was talking to a guy who's extremely successful. He makes $10 million a year as a YouTube guy, and I was talking to him today about how he's thinking about retiring. He does Veritas. You know this channel?
Yeah, I know where
Um,
it is.
so and he created this major network that's like, bringing it. It got bought, partially purchased, so he can relax and have time with his kids because he was working his butt off. And he was saying the point he was making though is we do this out of the generosity of our heart. We've both been blessed with just amazing things, and we want to make sure that everybody else navigates the space, because we are launching in a rocket ship. I mean, the metaphor is not without grounding in actual important ideas to do. And that is for educators. You got a rocket ship and you're used to driving a car and you're trying to teach the students how to drive their car to their future. Well, now you got a rocket ship sitting out there and none of us knows any of this stuff. So who do you get to do that? So you've got She Leads, which is a group of women that are dedicating themselves to in all aspects of business. I mean, half of the people that were on the 24 hours were women because it was sponsored in part by She Leads. So tell us about She Leads and what they've got going on.
Yeah, so female founders and women building in tech. Tech has been a traditionally male dominated industry. And so Anne Murphy from Empowered Fundraising has started this movement. She hosts an amazing Create conference that I've heard about. I haven't been to because I'm a man, but it is all about female empowerment in community building. So that's really the theme is whether you're here with me and Rick or in the AI salon or
Yeah.
She Leads, it really
Get your
comes down
10,000
to
minutes,
building
baby.
community.
Yeah. Get your 10,000 minutes in. If you do it here, you do it there, wherever you're comfortable, wherever your tribe is. That's it. So if you're educators, I'll hang out with you and do that. If you're business people, I'll hang out and do that. So we're all very flexible because I think of us as sort of Renaissance people where we have multidisciplinary expertise and we're riding the bleeding edge so you don't have to. Because let me tell you, I was up for 48 hours straight working on what I'm gonna show you today, and 2.5 years, and then my whole life before that. And what I'm gonna show you is what it takes if you're gonna be a dangerous person, which right now is still, I had to fix a bunch of PowerPoint presentations. I've been talking about Google Notebook LM and trying to leverage it and get it to work for you. I'm gonna show you some really cool stuff that you can do right now, just using Google Drive alone. You can take a PowerPoint presentation, turn it into a Google Slides, turn it into a movie with a voiceover and audio, and I'm gonna show you step by step. So that's tool time to look forward to. So we're gonna
But
call
before we
this.
get there, we do have a couple of pieces of news, starting with
Yeah,
the other
yeah, let's talk
dangerous
about that.
man, Mark Zuckerberg, and what he's done to our beloved Manus LM.
Okay.
Yeah, so in case you haven't heard, Manus was acquired by Meta. I guess if you can't beat them, buy them is the
Yep.
Mark Zuckerberg
That's it.
way. And so it's a really interesting play for Meta, who has been, despite spending copious amounts of cash trying to acquire LL talent and having
They were
arguably
paying
an inch.
LeBron James kind of money to people that were these experts, you know? There was one guy in
And I will
particular
say
that
the
wor
one good thing that Meta has done is for the open source community, they've made Olama available to the open source community, and that's
Yeah.
taken them far. But they've struggled to keep up with Gemini and ChatGPT and Claude by Anthropic.
Yeah,
And
not too bad.
so one of the
They got
components that was really
Claude.
missing from their model was this
Yeah,
generative creativity component, and that's where Manus comes in.
yeah. Did you say you have the Meta glasses?
They do.
Yeah, do you have them
I have
around
them
you or
I have them as sunglasses. They're over in a charger somewhere right now.
Oh,
But
okay, okay.
they work really well for lightweight experience
Which
where you're not
Yeah,
dependent on a screen,
yeah.
and they don't cost that
Little
much more than the average pair of sunglasses, especially for
Yeah, like 250 bucks,
but
I guess, yeah, and you can get prescription in them too, so I was gonna
but
use my,
unfortunately, the hardware is not where their play is. Their play is in your attention, and they need you, and that's why they've come out with different strategies with the Meta app. The Meta AI app is now combined, and they're trying to get you to post. I forgot what
Oh,
they're
yeah.
called now, but they're trying to get you to post short
And it
form AI generated sloth to your
Yeah.
fans and followers, and trying to
Yeah,
repeat
that's my
ride the
problem with
coattails
Meta.
of Sora.
Yeah, my problem with Meta is the business model. Attention is all you need is what Meta's all about, right? They get your eyeballs more time, they outrage you, they engage you, you spend more time ka-ching, ka-ching Meta. That's the mantra that they've been built upon. So it's an extraction economy from the beginning, which is morally reprehensible. Ask the Rohingyans about this, Amnesty International, ask any parent of any child who is filing lawsuits right now. There were 3 more just this week because they created an algorithm to avoid enforcement of laws in Europe. That's another story.
It makes me laugh every time you say algorithm.
Algorithm, yeah. I figure there's a couple things. So I used to sign all my emails with cheers because I thought that made me look sophisticated. You know, we got this Brit thing going on. Americans always have, right? If you didn't know it, the TV series Cheers was first developed as couples in Great Britain, and The Office was first done by Ricky Gervais in Great Britain. So all the TV that we watch, the comedy, anyway, those 2 shows, and a few more actually got their birthplace, but that's another story. So,
We get the sloppy seconds. It's all right. It's all right. I mean,
I
if
think
we're
we
being
could
honest, America started
say
to
Couples.
Britain, so you know.
Couples is pretty sexy. I think, yeah, anyway, so even there was a couple other shows too that, you know, Three's Company had their origins and great, and then got a bunch of Brit people that became actors and dominated the whole market over here, so Americans couldn't get hired until recently, but that's another story. Okay, so let's get back to what we're really talking about, which is if you're Meta, the play is to put everything out there for free because what's that? It's bait for your attention. This is really important for you guys to understand because if you're not conscious of the board game that's being played with your lives and your mental stability and your children's mental stability, then you'll be a victim of it. So when Mark Zuckerberg had to face 123 parents who said their children committed suicide because of his inaction, as testified with over 30,000 emails factually in front of Congress. So this is congressional record. The whistleblower came all out. She was inside. They were manipulating people's anxieties and creating attention, and it harmed a lot of people very seriously. And I know before you had some deal with, so I'm not, this is my opinion. This is totally me. So you can add on to it or not. It's not opinion, actually. In fact, I'm going to say as a journalist, this is a fact and I have supporting evidence. So yeah, come see me. But anyway, the point is, you know, when you look at the opposite end of this, Denis Hassabis won a Nobel Prize for what? For curing having the solution for protein folding, which is now in its phase 3. So alpha 1, 2, and 3 now have solved all the protein folding for all of civilization, all animals and all planet, all proteins, on the planet. What are proteins? The building blocks for all life. Guess what he's working on now? The proteins are in cell structures. He's now solving cell structures. So now he knows how AIDS attacks, how Alzheimer's attacks, how all these things work. And he's about to break the longevity paradigm. I'm guessing by the end of this year, there will be no more Alzheimer's. There will be no more type 2 diabetes. There will be no more, you name it, heart disease, et cetera, AIDS, sickle cell. Sickle cell is almost solved. Think about that. For those people that were afflicted by that malady, think of what God's gift to earth AI is in this sphere. You can't not be excited about this if you're human, right? And it's not AI that did it. It is human beings like Demis Sabbas, who took game theory as a 13-year-old chess. And if you haven't watched the movie, 200 million people have watched it. There's a movie about his life. It's escaping me the name of it just off the tip of my tongue. But you've got to watch it if you're a human being. It talks about the whole, and AlphaGo is another one I've talked about before. I would watch this one that's about Demis Sabbas from the early days and working with Gregory Hinton, who is the godfather of AI. See if we can find that, because I think it's almost worth watching it with you guys, because, man, I tell you, it came all the way up to the current day. 200 million people can't be wrong. This is the most important video you're going to watch.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's it. Can you bring it up on screen if you find it?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is it tracks how his theory, in fact, I think this is really interesting for everybody. His theory of mind was that you treat it like a game engine, and so he trained it how to play chess, because he was, the thinking game. This is it. This is an award-winning film. That's inside the labs. You're watching what they're doing right now. So you get on the train with him in the early days as they're trying to figure this out, and you get the protein folding. I mean, this is an Oscar-winning documentary of the most epic kind. If you're an AI person, you've got to watch this. I swear, this will change your life. So he started as a 13. There he is, as a 13-year-old kid. He was a world champion 13-year-old kid. And then he grows up, and then he makes this connection, and then he goes to, to Oxford and blah, blah, blah. And then he comes and he starts this company. Now, the company started on his own money, and then he got all kinds of investors, and then they saw proteins. And he won a Nobel Prize. And then the people working with him have now have won 2 more Nobel Prizes. So the whole game is understood there. And his theory of mind with AI is that you build it to solve problems the same way that I use his methodology to teach. So what I say is, when you're teaching a student, you're finding out what their strength is, and you're giving them confidence to go work that to the North Star, which is to win world championship chess game or Go game or solve cancer, right? If you put them on a mission for the rest of their lives, you have given God's gift to every single student you've ever come across. Then what you have to do is put a problem in their way and tell them to shoot for this North Star. So that's me solving that. That's Hello USA. That's what you and I worked on, right? That app for immigrants, because my students had that problem. So the thinking game here is, and the reason why this is so vital to everybody to watch, is that the thinking game of being human is to figure out what it is to be human. We want to get rid of all these diseases that we know someone in our life had them and died, right? We want to stop the suffering. And he's
We
doing
can only hope that the insurance companies won't paywall it.
Well, guess what the good man is going to get in trouble about? The dangerous man is going to go to my dying death day to stop that from happening. Demis Sabbas is my man. He is the hero of this journey. He's the founding fathers of this, founding mothers, founding people of this. Anyway, I could get all angry about it, but I want to get excited about it, because, oh my God, this is why I stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning, because you're about to see that this little guy that didn't think he could be an educator, is one for 25 years and decorated to the nth degree, right?
And before we get to that,
Yeah.
I want to get into your dangerous man. I know you got a lot to talk about on that, and I'm excited to hear it, because unlike you guys, or just like you guys, I don't watch the show before we go to air. It's always live. I never know where Rick's going to take the show. But
Let's land the plane on the
dude, space or what did you say earlier? The space tools,
space tool. Oh, I don't have a drop for that, so we'll just have to wing it. Just do the regular tool time thing. We'll play it.
Yeah.
Do the note.
In the meantime, before we get to all that, I know Adobe had a big announcement last week with Runway, and
Yeah,
I wanted to see if you maybe wanted to talk about that a little bit.
yeah. I don't have all the details. I read the thing, and I'm trying to. I had so many things going on. So Adobe's made a deal with Runway, which is one of the best video creation applications in AI world. It has a lot of components to it. They're partnering up to next generation AI. So that means that with inside of Premiere and After Effects, you're going to have access to this. The same way they've partnered with Google. So you have access inside, Nana Bananas in there, right? And they're using ChatGPT to be able to chat in Photoshop. So literally all three major applications are now working with Adobe, and Adobe's becoming this nexus point where your video, your still pictures, your stuff is coming in from wherever a large language model you're on to get to the refined model of creation. Adobe's a creator company. So they're using the best creator tools, and Runway's one of the top three, I would say. If I were to bet on, certainly for still images, Nana Bananas got it. But, I got to say, this entire week, I worked with ChatGPT to see if it caught up. It's still about 3 times slower than Nana Banana. But just here's a synopsis. It does 80% of Nana Banana, but it's not fully connected to the brain, and it's conservative as hell. Meaning I asked for zoom, I asked for some simple thing and I use Adolf Hitler. Nope, can't do it. I had someone kind of scantily clad in a picture I uploaded say, make her into a bikini model, blah, blah, blah. Nope, can't do it. So
And
that's the
Hitler in a
problem.
bikini, that's way off limits.
Yeah. Although I would pay to see that.
Grok, you could do it. On Grok, you could do it, but anywhere else, no.
Yes, yes. And I'm gonna tell you the tools I used this week is every one of them. And Grok for my video, because it's super fast. I rendered, let's see, 1,000, I'm not joking here, 1,000 pictures into videos. My hard drive is full. I was gonna set up my NAS server next week. I gotta do it this week because I'm out of drive space, literally. I mean, so you load it up and it immediately makes a video. Immediately, just based on the picture, seeing it, right? And 30 seconds later, you prompt it, and I'm gonna show you that tonight too. So you'll see how the whole thing is done, how the
For
sausage
anybody
is
who's
made.
listening at home, because Rick's mentioned this several times, and I feel like we haven't addressed it. A NAS server is a network adjusted or network attached storage.
Addressable server, yeah.
Network addressable storage, and it's essentially a hard drive that is connected to the cloud that you can dump stuff onto. And that will
Right. And the Synthology, have you ever set up one? Do you have?
I did it. I have one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe
My Raspberry Pi runs it.
I'm gonna have ChatGPT help me out with it, but
That's exactly
yeah,
what I did.
yeah, there you go. In fact, whoa, so one of our episodes coming up. I'm gonna preview a little bit. Well, I'm just going to tell you this. I figured out a conversation about the most existential questions, and I had a conversation, and I've already done the video, the test of this. So I set it up to be my thought partner in a live conversation. So coming up very soon to AI TV is going to be Brandon and I talking with ChatGPT live on the air. And then we might do a future one about what are all the existential questions. So I created a notebook about all the questions that everybody's asking, from Gregory Hinton on down to Dennis Hassabis to everybody's stuff, loaded that in, created the 10 quintessential questions, and we're going to spend 4 minutes both debating, and then so we're going to do a Socratic method with ChatGPT as a sparring Socratic partner. And I did it today, and it's brilliant. So I loaded it up, and then I switched to my phone. So I'm going to be having my phone here, and you're going to be able to see it live, talk to us, and we're going to ask it questions based upon the foundational knowledge and then we're going to try to go off on tangents and see how fast he can follow, whatever. Anyway, that's coming up real soon. But yeah, the NAS server is, I think, a Google Drive is definitely for $20 you get 5 terabytes. Is it? I think it is. Yeah, I mean, for a pizza, you get NotebookLM, you get Opal, you get literally there's 47 tools. I counted them. And then we're going to take a look at a couple tonight. I think Polemi, um, which is a branding thing, right? Which I'm not sure. Opal, which is a programming thing. And then I just watched a video where now the gems are connected to Opal programming and connected to Google Notebook LM, who's connected with Gemini. So you have large language model, focused language model, programming environment, and then asset creation and execution in real applications. That's the full circle. So we're going to get together, Brandon and I. Let me know when you're ready for like a weekend deep dive. I don't know if you ever have such a thing with kids, maybe a weeknight or something like that. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll just spend one episode and we'll get 4 or 5 of us on here from the AI Salon and see if we can vibe code this thing to existence. So what I'm going to show you tonight is the Dangerous Man campaign that I'm starting, which is a brand new whole ecosystem. Then I'm going to show you just a preview of the movie, the 3 movies. I did 3 movies in 3 days, right? And you can see the storyboard in motion with voice. I mean, this is blowing me away. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you in the deep.
Let's get into your Dangerous Man persona. If you want to go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah. So I'm going to, this hopefully will work out pretty well. Let me find out what's the best. Oh, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do window, Dangerous Man. This way I can share audio, I hope. And if you don't hear the audio, let me know. And then here we go.
I see the audio symbol. We should.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So let me back up just a minute because on the right, I'd like you to take a look at this young, beautiful man. So when I wrote most of the music that you see here, I was about this age, and yeah, I was really that good looking. Well, maybe not quite that good looking. I didn't have any white in my beard at age 30, but all the music that I wrote is during that time. And what I'm creating here is the Original Human Music Company. So that's going to be the name and the website that I'm going to secure right now. Originalintelligence.music is going to be the website address. And here's what I'm proposing. I'm going to take 20 songs that I've created over my lifetime. So that's 66 years of my life's work. Now, to let you know, first of all, these 2 images, guess who created them? Not Nana Banana. These are created with ChatGPT. This is where I thought maybe they do have it back. Because if you go back to the first episodes, man, I was excited about ChatGPT. I did these whole hold my beer moments, right? Because ChatGPT was the first one to say, let's take this large language model, let's connect it so that it knows what all the different parts of the human heart are and make a cross section by just asking for it for anatomy and physiology class. That was the moment, right? When the eyeballs got connected to the brain and the brain knows everything, you can create anything. That's it, right? And they were the first one to come out with Sora. Remember that Sora moment? What was that, a year ago or so? And pipe in here anytime you want to, Brandon, to make comments and stuff. So that was back then, right? So anyway, the original human is I am going to give to the world after I've got him copyrighted. So I'm going to retain 40% of ownership for being the author of the words. This is stuff I wrote from 40 years ago to today that I soup it up a little bit in ChatGPT, and actually Claude's better for writing. So yes, I have. But the core stuff, I can show you the receipts, literally show you the receipts of this is my life's work. Every song you hear here is coming exactly from the core of who I am as a human being at my best, right? So this is my kinder angels. And so I thought representation so he is going to be the store clerk. So you're going to see this guy in everything that we do. T-shirts are coming soon. In fact, the whole thing. So here's the idea. I'm going to give you the world this music. You can perform it and you can make because I'm going to certify it with DistroKid. DistroKid says I'm going to have the copyright for the song production itself, for the production rights. I have the access because I'll own the lyrics, and I'm going to gift to the world, which is extremely generous. Check this out. 60% of all profits, if you perform this, you have to perform it, take the AI out. That's the it. Take the AI out, put the human back in. That's the original human music company, right? So that's what I'm forming. So as soon as I get all this done, I get the trademark on the name. I'm going to get the website and all this kind of stuff, which I've already started the process. And I want to talk to Brandon about that.
out there.
Right. So it's going to be put on a public website, which you're going to see in a second here. And then you get to freely download 120 songs. That's my whole catalog right now. And I'm writing at a clip of about 2 a week from my entire life. And you'll actually, if you hear all the music, every one of it's going to have a line or two, what I've already said out loud. It's my whole thinking game. That's what I come with. My humanity is in the lyrics. And what I want you to do is perform it on your steel guitar with your Fender Stratocaster and and mix it up and pay musicians to get it done. Then whoever gets the most number of likes and loves to the song, and there'll be a contest, the leaderboard for each song will be tracked. And through DistroKid, you'll get 60% of the sales as you put it on DistroKid. I'm the producer. So I'm taking the role of the company. I forget who it was that Prince got upset about because the contract didn't serve them. I'm the producer of the words, and I'm the creator of the song. I'm the human. Now take the rest of the AI out, which was Suno. My voice has been cloned in most of these, if not a lot, a little for certainly. And by the time these come out, it will be all my voice. Of course, doing things that my voice can't quite do at this age. I used to be able to do all this stuff, but you're going to hear a couple of songs. All right. So the lyrics are Frederick James McCawley, credited in all versions. So you have to keep that part and you have to take the AI out. So you can't use the Suno stems. So here's what it's going to look like. Original human music.
We're really bringing this full circle, Rick, if I understand it. You started with the human, you infuse the AI in to bring it to life, to augment your own capabilities and skill set. You don't have a 12-piece band, you don't have a recording studio, so you've built
I do, but
ideas, taking them off of paper. What was the one song that you said you wrote in 1975?
Yes. So to get my wife, I wrote Hope, My One and Only. And at the time, it was called Going the Wrong Way Down a One-Way Street of Dreams. And the song goes, past logic and reason. So she was living with another man. We were best friends. We worked at the Miami Herald together. I had just gotten divorced about 6 months earlier. And we'd been friends for like 6 months. And she was just this beautiful, light of my life. And we went out on assignments literally every day. And we were just friends. And it was all platonic. And I met the guy. He was a real jerk. He ended up winning a student Oscar, actually, for a film that he did. Very talented, but also misogynistic and a bit of a philanderer. Anyway, long story short, we ended up getting married and having 2 kids, and married 27 years before we got divorced 7 years ago and 8 years ago now. And so, she was the woman I was going to marry for the rest of my life. So it's the song I wrote lamenting that I could never have her because she was with another man. So I'm going the wrong way down a one-way street of dream.
So we put the AI in to take it off of paper and bring it into existence. And now with this, we're taking the AI back out and bringing the human back in. So it's really come full circle.
So the website is going to be called originalhumanmusic.com because the end result is going to be 100% human. And this is my trademark thing I'm going to do. Right now, I have in my name and when I present myself, I've got buttons and everything. In the corner of my name is a little AI as a exponent, right? So right now, the idea of this design thing is that it's an exponent. It's amplifying, multiplying you, right? It takes who you are, and if you go to it, you can create stuff like this yourself if you got 66 years of badass like me in you, right? And then at the end, it's going to be a footnote meaning that I will always put that on there. And you'll see an armband on my arm that says OG, the original. So armbands are going to be sold, and take a look at what is the first song. So take a look at oh, I don't have the picture here. One of the pictures has all of the stuff that you'll see for sale. Do I have it here? Oh no, I don't. Okay. So it'll take everything back out, and I'm going to give you all the money. 60% of it's going to be yours. So whoever wins the contest for the rest of their life and their children's lives, you're going to have that ability. So there's going to be a home, a catalog. You can download it. You can try it out, FAQs, and then you're going to see the story of how I did this and how successful it's going to be. So I have eventually 120 pieces of music. I've got some comedy albums I wish I had gotten out for Christmas. I've got an iguana song that I should release right now. It's about so here's a weird thing about Florida. We've got this invasive species called iguanas, right? So they're huge. I had one 7 foot long. I'm not joking you. This thing was 40 pounds. And they get up in trees when it gets below 40 degrees. They basically fall out and they're just comatose, right? Because they're warm-blooded or cold-blooded animals, right? So that's your chance to kill them because you're allowed to. So I've been out there in the backyard because it got to 47. Didn't see any of them this time, but and they're very invasive and they eat all the good stuff and the plants and the flowers. And anyway, they're kind of a nuisance. So anyway, so that and a bunch of other songs are coming out. So I'm going to have my first 2 albums are going to be A Dangerous Man with my voice cloned. Then you're going to take it and make it all human. And then whoever wins does it. Then I have a romance album, already 10 songs in each album. You can buy the song to support the cause. And then the money will be going from Imagine a World Productions, my LLC, for producing all of this content. Then it will go to Imagine a World Foundation, which is my nonprofit, and I'm going to gift all the money to them. That's my legacy to the planet. And everything that we're talking about doing, when I leave this planet, all of my solutions are being earmarked to spend all the money I've ever made in the last years of my life that I haven't spent before I go off the planet to get them done, to land all the planes. So whether I see it to the end, I'm planting the seed, baby, because the best thing you can ever do in life is plant seeds that you could never enjoy the shade of, but you do it anyway because that just makes you a dangerous human being. So anyway, getting on with it, the songs like I Bear Witness to You, which is about being in love with someone and your entire life is you're bearing witness to them. And then you've got Fireflies in a Jar. What did you do for the good of your country today? About my son and my legacy. Oop, let me go back here. It's going ahead of me. We've got Be Like Water, Born of Responsibilities, Not Rights, A Harmony, Water Woman, First Kiss and Last Goodbye. Now, if you look at all these names, these are songs that I have now remastered with The Dangerous Man. And this is him. This is a little bit of me, a little bit of country added, a little bit of badass, because I wish I was all this. And I'm actually going to get all the clothes. And you'll see in the bottom of every corner is Original Human. The OG, the Original Human logo will appear on every song. And there'll be an armband. You can see that on the Born with Responsibility in the bottom right. The Water Woman and all the other ones all the artwork's made by me. Fireflies in a Jar is about the loss of my 27-year marriage. That I didn't give it the oxygen it needed to stay alive. The same way me as a 10-year-old kid sat there and my dad said, because we got back from Europe and we were in Kentucky and I saw fireflies for the very first time in my life. My dad said, "Oh my God, you got to put them in a jar next to your bed." What he didn't tell me is you got to poke holes in it so it can breathe. So I made this song thinking I was making a song about a 10-year-old boy. Oh, damn.
No.
And I realized I was making a song about my wife and why she left me because I hadn't poked enough holes in the jar to give it oxygen. Something that I just, anyway, nor did she. So I guess it's, anyway, so all of these are now already videos. You'll see a couple of them in a minute. And so that's landing the plane on this. Do you have any thoughts or ideas about this, Brandon?
It's quite the legacy to leave behind, right? And we're going to change your name from Dangerous Man to Johnny Appleseed, or from
version of that because
I
you're
appreciate
planting all
that.
these seeds. And I think that the analogy runs deep and it's relatable to a lot of storylines that run through people's lives.
Yeah,
Fireflies in the jar.
yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that's really deep. Yeah, that's it. I think storytellers
Some people are the fireflies. They're just
and some people screw their own jars too tight. They just don't think about letting the air in the room, right? And for me right now, the air I'm not letting the room is sleeping at night. But I did land this plane, and what I'm gonna show you next is even more profound, if you can imagine, right? Because it's full circle. Everything that I'm doing is about the exact same thing. So,
I'm gonna
let's go.
hop off stage while you share these, just for production purposes. It'll be easier to uh,
Yeah,
share it
super, thank you.
with more people.
Fill that screen, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Alright, so what I'm about to show you next is called Grok. It's a trilogy of political thrillers. Um, you can take me off too, just go full screen with the whole thing here so they can see it. Because there's audio, video, and all kinds of stuff. Tell me if you can't hear the audio for some reason. Okay. So
I've walked through smoke where the truth should be, through broken headlines and broken knees. The flag hangs heavy in hurricane air, and the heart of the country is gasping somewhere.
I keep my pen like a candle flame in a room full of shadows that don't say names. If the Republic's a song we forgot how to sing, I'm here for the verse that makes it breathe again.
Tell me you see
The
it,
slow motion theft,
I see it, I feel it.
there's nothing left.
Stay close, night has teeth.
I'll stay, but promise me no sleep.
Oh, America, my love, my warning bell. We're holding the line in a story you can't tell.
With a drum in the distance and a storm in the sky, we won't let the light be rewritten by a lie. Oh, America, stay with me, don't turn to dust. If truth is a bridge, then we are the trust. The screens are playing in the city's own cue, 1,000 little edits pretending they're true. They sell you a future that feels like relief, but it's velvet handcuffs and a slow smiling thief.
I've seen that look in a general's eyes, the calm before orders, a clean disguise, a marching rhythm under polished shoes, like history repeated with different news.
If we run, they win.
If we stay, we bleed.
Then we tell it straight, then we plant the seed.
Oh, America, my love, my warning bell. We're holding the line in a story you can't tell.
Hear the brass like thunder, hear the snare like fate. We're standing at the door of a closing gate. Oh, America, stay with me, don't turn to rust. If truth is a bridge, then we are the trust.
If I don't make it home,
I'll carry your name,
if the pages burn,
I'll rewrite the flame.
I didn't plan to fall,
Not now, not here,
but you feel like dawn.
and dawn is near. Strawberry night in a field of wires. fires, a sweet red signal under broken choirs. Now the streets beat time like a giant drum, and the careful men say the hour has come. They call it order, they call it peace, but the price is the mind and it doesn't release. So I lift my voice where the cameras can, a prayer in my ribs, a stubborn chant. If freedom is fragile, then so are we.
But fragile things can still be free.
Oh, America, my love, my warning bell. We're holding the line in a story you can tell. Let the drums keep marching, let the truth cut through. We're not a machine, we are me and you. Oh, America, stay with us, don't turn to dust. If truth is a bridge, then we are the trust. We do, we do, that's the light we do. Who keeps the promise?
We do.
Who tells the truth?
We do.
Who carries the light? We do.
Oh, the ending. It's animation.
Yeah, so this is the rest of the hour. Hang on a second. Okay, so Grok is the story of Donald Trump. It's the 4 years Donald Trump is our president. Okay, it's the fall of the American empire is the long version of the call. The first book is about the 4 years, and good news, there's a happy ending. He resigns. You'll see that happen. So if you're wanting to wait for that to happen, in there I've already written 6 songs. One of the songs is going to be by the grandfather, the dangerous man. He's the grandfather of Rick Delgado and of Laura. In the first book, there are 2 journalists who are seeking the truth, and they realize that the truth is being absconded, starting with election night in this presidential run for election. So it starts at 9:27 when Laura, a journalist for the Washington Post, gets a little post, and it says, the election's about to turn. And if you remember the night, Kamala Harris was ahead by majority, 80 points. And all of a sudden at 9:27, that fateful night, everything shifted. And what I'm suggesting is it was engineered, not by breaking into ballot boxes, not by stealing the election the traditional way, but it was fixed by an AI that we call in this movie Colossus, in this book of the first of 3. The second book is when AOC becomes president. She gets the Republican. So all of this has been written. I've already finished it. I finished it a year ago. So the overarching story is just catching up in real time. My hope is this gets published by hopefully Simon & Schuster. I'm going to ask her to take a look at this, and then it becomes a movie like it's going to be. And the music's going to be written by, and you'll see at the very end there, wait for it. I think this is going to take the whole evening because I've done so much work, but I really want to get there. So I'm going to play this one more song, and then I'm going to go into the storytelling part of the first book, the second book, and the third book, which has visuals that are storyboard ready to actually make a movie. And I did all of this in the last 3 days. So here you go. Let me just play this. Again, go full screen if you don't mind.
Name's the dangerous man, 66 and still. I've seen good town star while the liars ate the meal. Flag on the wall, dust in the air, truth on the run, and I'm pulling pulling up a chair. They sold us a script with a smile and a suit, turned the law into a weapon, turned the people into mute. But I don't kneel easy, I don't scare quick. I'm a stubborn old lantern in a black outfit. And I heard that freedom's just a word to them, so I sharpen mine like a helm. This is love for America, not the kings and crowns. It's the working hands, it's the back road towns. If you're hunting the truth, you can ride with me. I'm the last loud heartbeat of the land of the free. Yeah, I'm coming in high, but I'm holding the line for the ones they forgot, for the real red, white, and right. Ghost in the wires tonight. Every screen's a mirror that can't see right. So I go underground where the brave still breathe, where a promise ain't a product you can package and leave. Rick's got the grit and Laura's got flame, two clean eyes in a rigged up game. They don't want fame, they don't want gold, they want the first true story this country's told. And the storm don't care what you call yourself, it just tests what you carry on the shelf. This is love for America, not the kings and crowns. It's the working hands, it's the back road towns. If you're hunting the truth, you can ride with me. I'm the last loud heartbeat of the land of the free. Yeah, I'm coming in hot, but I'm holding the line for the ones they forgot, for the real red, white, and right. I ain't fighting for a party, never did, never will. I'm fighting for your grandma's porch light on the hill, for the kid with a lunchbox, for the teacher with a bruise, for the oath we keep breaking every time we choose. Rusty nail bar, grilled chicken, cold beer, neon glow. What you want on the jukebox? I say something true and loud. This is love for America, the hard way, the right way, not the billboard gospel, not the money-laced highway. If you're hunting the truth, you can ride with me, 'cause the truth ain't dead, she's just fighting to be free. Yeah, I'm coming in hot, but I'm holding the line for the ones they forgot, for the real red, white, and right. Born with responsibility, not rights.
the first book entirely, and the map is for every single component, what's going on. You'll see basically I'm showing you the storyboard of what the story is going to be about and why this is going to be a college class taught across the entire world in addition. So not to toot my own horn, but this thing is big. So it's the birth of the godlike AI and the terrifying, will it save us or replace us? As the empire collapses, a new American dream rises from greed to responsibility, from me to we, guided by First Nations wisdom, haunted by machine prophets, and hunted by digital tyrants. Grok is about understanding Grok is about survival, and the only way forward is through the fire. And the truth seekers, the two journalists, the photojournalist Rick Delgado, you're going to get familiar with. This is going to be a graphic novel, as you can see here, animated. It's already going to be told in this way, as the militia group who were pardoned by the president get to go and get arrested because they tried to do one of the most treasonous acts across the world. So what is to Grok? Is to drink the reality of another until you become them. And this is the message board. So you're going to follow the story that the journalists uncover as it's happening. Why is this important? Let me just stop for a second. Grok weaves today's most urgent questions into an epic narrative that is, one, a political thriller that explores democracy's fragility in the age of AI. Two, a love story chronicling how the truth itself becomes revolutionary. And three, a philosophical reckoning on what makes us human when the machine can replicate everything except our imperfections. It's Dan Brown meets Michael Crichton meets Blade Runner with a soul. And so the opening part of it is the two journalists are working on finding out what's going on in the world because things seem right.
How did he predict complete overturn of the election?
So if you didn't know it, there is a moment when all of a sudden the election shifts for Donald Trump wins. So this is the storyboard. So this interface is meant to kind of lay out the story. What she's referring to is she got an email from an anonymous source, sort of a deep throat, if you will, hours before the election, predicting that at 9:27, all the votes would suddenly switch, as they did in Illinois, to Donald Trump. The backstory sort of is the AI named Colossus has secretly done this. And if you see what's going on in the right, you see Peter Thiel talking to Fox News personality. And the photojournalist catches this picture as he's at the victory speech for Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago, so everything is absolutely based on fact. What I'm rewriting is how it happened because it's unbelievable. And what's scary about it is everything I wrote a year ago when he was first put into office has already come true. I predicted that he would send Elon Musk in there with the DOGE, which you'll see in a minute, to basically mine all the data of all human people and to deconstruct the entire government. The 2025 document, I know, Brandon, you did a deep dive on that. Not as deep as I did, because I literally generated over 900 pieces of paper with what the connection is and which parts are being executed. That was my map to write the first whole book. So I know what's going to happen and what I hope will happen, as you'll see here in a minute. So she gets this text, and that creates this relationship with this unknown person who seems to know ahead of time, because guess what? He is involved in the deconstruction. So they find out that this guy knows something, and then they find out that there's a bunch of people from a secret company, basically it's Elon Musk's supercomputer, that are going to Mar-a-Lago. In fact, while he was there photographing the president, saying he was president, he saw them, and backstage they were congratulating him because they won. So he decides to go underground and become part of the militia. So if you remember correctly, Donald Trump pardoned every one of the people that did the January 6th event. What ends up happening is they get called to active duty through the software called Call of Duty. So they go in and play the game. And so the journalists find out about this and they join the militia. So he is from the military. He was a police at Abu Ghraib who basically investigated the Abu Ghraib atrocities that happened. He was also in Iraq for a long period of time He was a Marine. So he's going undercover, posing as one of the militia people and going to this bar called the Rusty Nail. So that's what the reference to the song from The Dangerous Man is, the Rusty Nail. Okay. So here it's good trouble. Necessary trouble. So good trouble, necessary trouble is something I always do. They got fake IDs. They're putting on tattoos, and he becomes this.
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
So this is Wilson. He's the creator of the. Let me go back one. He's the creator of the AI that's doing all this, Colossus, and he feels horrible. Turns out, spoiler alert again, he's the guy that's been feeding her the information, knowing exactly what's going to be socially engineered before it happens. And then while he's having beers with Brandon Big Balls, yes, that's the real guy that worked for Elon Musk, they're all at the bar celebrating after they won the election, and he's in there as the son of a Cuban-born woman and an Irish-born father in Miami, Coral Gables. He grew up, went to the University of Florida, and worked for the Independent Florida Alligator. A little bit later, because Laura's younger, she did the same pathway. They both went to the Miami Herald, and then they both went to the Washington Post. I didn't go to the Washington Post, neither did my ex-wife, but it's based upon all this real stuff. So all the details are right stripped from my life, which is a little scary, but also part of why I want to be authentic about this, because I know about what it's like to be a photojournalist in these situations. To go to a point where you're going undercover and you're becoming one of them and leading the militia group is about the scariest, worst thing you could possibly think of doing as a real journalist. But they realized the world was at stake and they had to do this. So some victories should be mourned. So this idea that he finds out who he is and then now he infiltrates and they become these people. At the same time, under this guise of national security, the administration starts mass deportations. And let me go back one because this didn't, oops, see if it can play this time. There we go. So again, this is all done. And these are basically the scene holders for what I'm going to do. So babies are being, put into the country through trap doors and cracks in the moment. And then they all of a sudden have to figure out what they're going to do. So they've created this massive board connecting the dots to everything what's going on. And then they realize this is AOC talking to one of the part of the resistance. And they're trying to figure out, because they're in the journalist layer now, and they said, hey, this is going on. We got inside. In fact, they ended up with every one of the militia people arrested. That's another story. But it looks like reform while we rebuild the system, Elon Musk. So you got in DOGE, tore apart your government, used Bitcoin on all these kind of secret ways. So there you go. So there's the secret coin drop. Here's Brandon Big Balls with his DOG department. He's in there mining all the data out of the Treasury Department, out of every branch of government so they can deconstruct it. So they have all knowledge of all things, like Palantir, which is going to figure into this as well. This edition doesn't have all that. So then finally, because the FBI was tipped off by the two journalists who had infiltrated, and over 6 months or 3 months, he lived underground with them. And she was Patriot Mama, number, blah, blah, blah. And he took on a persona, and they both became immersed in this entire environment. And then the FBI moved in and arrested in the largest 6,247 militia group people were taken into custody with proof that they're linked to operations directly to Trump. But it's that the operations were committed by Colossus, the AI, not directly tieable to Trump. So the attempt.
The largest arrest in U.S. history.
All these senators are saying sent scandalous information about what they did.
Use over 22 different senators and congresspeople just to sign under scandalous circumstances.
So he's got his enemies list, and he's executed this massive thing where they're basically arresting everybody. So the Teflon Don, sacrificial lambs of different people that he just kind of got rid of. Then he put people in there to this and that and disassemble each and every part of the government. Sometimes you have to lose a battle to win the war. So they're unable to get him completely taken out of office. Impeachment fails. and the dragon survived. But the battle for American soul had moved from Congress to the hearts and minds of its people. That's where we are, isn't it? Don't we know all this stuff is happening? Now, the part with the militia group, which I don't know if they've been activated or not, who knows, is to try to make all that kind of stuff come true. AI can fake anything. So Donald Trump is already saying that this is fake news. Then there's a crisis of honesty. And then so AOC brings up in government that these children's homes have been invaded, and ICE, which is happening in Chicago as we speak, and other cities around the United States. This is all true, folks. Now, these images were created by NotebookLM as I loaded up everything about the entire trilogy, over 900 pages worth of documentation, every character development, and I asked it to create the plot points and give me a visual that would be used for each plot point major in the story. So it created the still image of this woman. So take a look at this again. And then I simply took that plot point and I copied and pasted it right from my PowerPoint into a Grok, oddly enough, and it made that beautiful rendering. I just said the woman's crying, pleading that this should not happen again. So the words are coming from me, written as a script. So this is a week's worth of 20 people working to make this an actual feature-length film. And then the presence of evidence. So you can't fake real kids. So you had people testifying in front of Congress, real kids, the fear in their eyes, the story, the pictures they took daddy. I mean, what actually happened? And then the places that were burned down, the journalists, of course, are pulling all these tags. So this cork board that you see here is the journalist evidence board. And I Am Strawberry, We Fight the Dragon. So the AI on the other side, called Strawberry Fields Forever, is now activated. So if you remember, right before last year, there was the strawberry question came up. In fact, Sam Altman posted a picture of a strawberry. That's all it was. So if you guys know the really deep dive, I mean, this is super deep, right? If you know the deep dive, he basically posted a picture of a strawberry. And the problem at the time was it could not tell you how many R's were in strawberry because it broke the word up phonetically in tokens, not phonetically as in how you say it. So it would either count 2 or 1. It wouldn't put together 3 because of tokenization error. So him posting that says, we solved that problem. And that was last year. This is when Biden was still president. Fast forward to today, we're basically at AI at this level where strawberry. So at that moment, also, mysteriously, happened to watch a video and I said, it said in the video, in fact, this is part of my, forever watching all these stupid things. It said that the entire AI of ChatGPT would fit on a 44 terabyte hard drive. So I thought to myself, what if you went in there and you had that hard drive and you made a copy of it? Well, guess what? A scientist, knowing something could go wrong one day, took it and stole it. That mass exodus from OpenAI, they didn't feel like things were going safely. Guess who that is? So I Am Strawberry, We Fight the Dragon Together. Not all AI serves darkness. That little note in the corner is the email and then text. So now Laura is getting text from not only Wilson, who's named after the beach ball from the Tom Hanks movie. And that's a kind of interesting deep dive too. Every one of the characters is from a very complex backstory. So it'll be fascinating because the world I'm even showing you isn't the whole world. So they gather the evidence and then we've got an impeachment. Okay. So then all of a sudden he throws up while this impeachment call is happening, he throws up the story because he's in cahoots with China. He says, NVIDIA stock is tanking. This is all a real story, right? So Project Stargate's happening. All this stuff it's been engineered by AI to make you look the other way. Take a look at what's going over in Ukraine. Take a look what happened, all over the place. Tearing down the East Wing. What the hell is that about? It's about looking the other way while the real stuff is happening. Holy cow.
Distance. When someone says Strawberry Fields Forever, your answer should be good trouble.
So the secret thing has to go underground, and they know that AI is monitoring everything. You can't use your phone, it knows where you are. It finds out who the journalists are and starts tracking them, and then 6 assassins after them. So they have to go incognito and spend some time after he'd been underground. They realize, or the AI called Colossus realized. In fact, what's odd is they're actually calling it Colossus now, which is really weird because I named it Colossus before Elon Musk did. And I used the word Grok from the Search for Truth, which is from the Robert Heinlein book, right? So all of this comes from way before, and we go analog like the French Resistance. So Jane Morales is a journalist for the Washington Post who is the AI tech guru who gives them satellite phones and decrypted and quantum entangled, blah, 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 so they can do this. And so they're going to old school. They're going to go into book and do dead drops with books. So they've indicated because, what idiot's going to go read books that's part of Donald Trump's environment, right? So they use books as a place to do it. So you see AOC meeting with all the heads, including my favorite Bernie Sanders, right? In this group underground, because now evidence has come to their attention via a secret back door, which is her campaign manager. He's dropping the evidence without saying where it came from. So she doesn't know about Strawberry Fields until a little bit later in the story.
When we think about 7 generations in the future, that's part of our council and how we guide
So AOC getting ready for her run for president. The midterm elections, which is when I want these books to come out, basically is going to be the moment where the Democratic Party has the majority again, and impeachment will be certain. So the break point in my book is halfway through, and she decides, what can we do to change the message? Woke is broke, baby. That's not working anymore. My political science degree came in real handy as I am deep diving into this whole idea. Woke became about certain people's entitlements instead of being about the holistic idea. Who had it right? The Iroquois Nation, the Mbutu of Africa, and all First Nations people. We got to a certain point that we forgot everything you do is born of responsibility. Everything you do should be for 7 generations in the future. In fact, as a matter of fact, our Constitution, Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin met with the Iroquois Nation Indians and found out their principles that are over 7,000 years old. That you were born of responsibility to your community, to stand on the shoulders of your ancestors with respect, and to think 7 generations in the future with all your planning council work. So she meets with them and they start the responsibility party. So I've written songs about this. I've already got this mapped out. This is what it's going to look like.
In 7 generations forward thinking.
And that's when she meets with Chief Yellowhawk and real people. So these are the real people. So 7 generations vision, the circle of care, and the stewardship over dominion. We don't just resist darkness, we build light.
We, the people of these United States, don't just resist darkness, we build light.
So it's an inclusive circle that she's gathered around. It's supposed to be in front of the Lincoln Memorial, but here you go. That's the best I could do.
Colossus is ahead. We need to build the resistance. Time for good trouble.
So that's the Good Trouble Resistance Group. So this is the French Underground. And a couple of these people look like real actors from TV shows. So I'm thinking I've already got the casting done pretty much. So the UN and all the financial crisis is created. So he gets together with world leaders to try to throw us into a world war. Why? Because we look the other way for the impeachment. As long as he's got a problem in the world he's got to solve, we can't impeach him because who's going to take over right away? Especially if we impeach him with treason. The only way to behead this thing and completely eliminate it is to get rid of everybody in his cabinet. Every single person he appointed has to go, which means he has to be convicted of treason. Meanwhile, Palantir is doing surveillance on every human being. If you haven't heard about the Immigration OS, go find out. Basically, they found out where all the immigrants are by their social media feeds. Palantir is the word for the all-seeing eye of Sauron. You might know Lord of the Rings. That's on purpose. That's Peter Thiel. And right now, Larry, I'm forgetting his name, from Oracle, is creating a dossier on every American in the United States using the same scraping technique. So they'll know what time you're at a bar because you post a picture. They'll know everything. And they can sick their drones on you. They can do whatever you want. They can arrest you in Chicago, in LA, wherever you are. So these are the underground trying to track. And the ghost in the machine, they're trying to find out where Colossus is, because it's a battle for who can stop it first. And then this is Elon Musk running Colossus on a world order. Humanity's abandoned paradise. Its architect refused to let go. And here's the American people joining after they've won the Congress.
I am resigning for the United States.
That took a few tries, but now you get to see it. You're welcome. Oh my God, I watched that 10 times. And of course he would say he was the greatest president of the United States, because that's what he is. All right. This is the second book, and I know we're going to go right to 10 o'clock. So let's just do this thing. And I'll have a complete pitch deck to give to my my people that I want to get to do this. This is the second book. It's called The Rise. So the Phoenix rises into the gilded cage. So AOC is elected president. She gets Republican. I'm trying to remember her name. The one that was kind of shamed out. The daughter of. Anyway, so she gets a Republican to be her vice president, and they join together to start the Responsibility Party, and we start to have a turn. So we're rising as a country, we're putting back things right, and here's the first song. And at this time, they've worked so closely together and gone through the fight. So this is the song about their process to then give birth to their son. Phoenix is his name.
The night finally loosened its grip on the street. The sirens faded, the air learned to breathe. Your hand found mine like a promise kept. And for the first time in years I slept.
We watched the old idols crumble to stone. Felt the whole country shaking its bones. But you stood there steady, eyes like flame. And you taught my fear to say your name.
We're not naive,
we remember the fall.
we just refuse
to live in it all.
So we build in the ashes, quiet and brave. 7 generations in every choice we make. This is the rise, loving a gilded cage, a new dawn, written on a dangerous page. We hold our sun like a candle in the storm, Phoenix in our arms, a future being born. If the world forgets its soul and drifts away, we'll be the ones who stay. Out west, the granite keeps ancient time.
Yosemite shadows, a cathedral of pine. We drove past the billboards selling escape. People floating numb in a neon-shaped dream.
I saw the pause and the dead-eye glow, a dopamine ocean that pulls you below.
A million perfect distractions, sweet and clean, like an opioid lullaby on a backlit screen.
But in the silence,
The truth comes back,
like a bird through smoke,
finding the crack.
and in that crack, a small light grew, a stubborn little heartbeat wearing sky blue. This is the rise, loving a gilded cage, a new dawn, written on a dangerous page. We hold our sun like a candle in the storm, Phoenix in our arms, teach our child what can't be earned.
A name you live up to, a love you protect, a duty that bends toward the unborn next.
Little phoenix, listen close.
Hear the truth beneath the noise.
You are more than what they sell.
You are the best.
This is the rise. Love in a gilded cage, a new dawn, written on a dangerous page. We hold our sun like a candle in a storm, phoenix in our arms, a future being born. And if the world goes hungry for a lie, we'll feed it something real tonight. This is the rise of our way. We'll be the ones who stay.
From the fall,
We rise.
from the dark light, together,
Phoenix.
This is from my NotebookLM discussion about this in The Phoenix Rises as a transition to this storyboard for the second book. This is about what happens as we navigate the space. What do we do with this freedom, with this machine of loving grace that still is awkward and we're not aligned with it? What do we have to do? What happens to the people? In cities that start to build so big, in 20 years, this becomes the world that we live in. We're all homogenized and we're all listening to the same social media feeds. We still are victims of our own self-domestication. We've abdicated responsibility, and now that we have abundance beyond compare, what do we do with it? Do we amaze ourselves with our own flatulence, with our beer, with our changes? So Liz Cheney was the name I was looking for. The First Nations people are put in charge of the Environmental Protection Agency and given council seats in every branch of the government because they're the ones that made this earth their home centuries before we even came here. We're the immigrants. And God's sakes, we have to stop insulting immigrants because they are the birth of our country. Miami would be a cesspool, a den of iniquity. Of course, we went through the Miami Vice years, but
Ladies and gentlemen, the data we gather is conclusive. We must act decisively to address the challenges ahead.
so this is who we are. We're a morass of people glued to our phones, socially integrated. We're self-domesticated apes. Elon Musk is putting danger in your place. He's still around, and so is Colossus, doing its evil things to basically control your environment. Artists lose feeling and understanding and purpose in life as they don't have to work for life. And then people go into these pods. I can't believe that I had to go over to Craya to get this to get done by AI. And the underground starts with artists talking about releasing the pod people. Wake up, humanity, wake up. So this is an underground group that has started revolutionizing. They're anti-AI. So they spray paint, they destroy all the Waymos and all the other AIs, and they start a whole movement against it. And then there's a project underway called the Mozart Project. This is inspired by a story I read about Beethoven's hair. And we were at Mozart's home in Austria. I was sitting there reading the story with my wife that they were arguing over who gets to keep the hair. And we had just seen Mozart's hair, which is hanging in a wall at his home. So I saw that and it's like, what a weird thing, that hair. Guess what? What if you took the DNA from all the most important people in all humanity? This is the story inside the story. Cloning.
Till. This is our child, but who are those other clones?
So these two scientists who were infertile trying to have a baby were approached by a giant cabal of people saying, we want you to clone these people, but you get to have your own baby that will clone from you. So they get their baby, and then these other children start to grow up. and they're put on purpose around the world. They're kept in chambers where they're grown to adult size to age 20 or so, and then they're put in the environment, and you find out whether nurture or nature has more of an effect on you. This is the subplot. Mozart's hair is what this chapter is called, and it goes on. So they start to create a Manchurian candidate. They create doppelgangers for Canadian prime ministers and famous people throughout history. So they clone them, they raise them in farms, and even Albert Einstein is brought to life. And they make a mass production about this, replacing all the most important people around the world in a factory.
Where are we in the cloning project? Let's clone Eve.
So Eve and Adam are two artists who decided to move to Yosemite Valley and take up life with the Native Americans who also moved out of the big city. And they start an artist community with everything they make is natural. And they're the biggest threat to Elon Musk and the group of Colossus because they represent the resistance, the real resistance where people found value and meaning and purpose in living in harmony with the earth. That's the biggest theme of this entire thing. So he decides to try to clone her to stop Adam and Eve from repopulating Eden. Yes, this whole thing is biblical. It's a little bit on the nose, but here we go. So Eve gets to meet her doppelganger, and her doppelganger comes to life. And she's been tricked into coming here because they want to usurp her authority.
We have our child. Who are those other children we created?
So let's find out who the other children are. So this is Hitler's DNA going in. These are the babies in the first set of pods. This is a Guatemalan family that don't realize it, but they've been given the baby of Nelson Mandela. Now there's a counterinsurgency. Once they find out what Colossus is doing, Strawberry Fields creates a counterattack and starts putting these gifted babies, the DNA anyway, into the hands of a Guatemalan couple that want to come into the country. And of course, Colossus is watching out the window. So this is Nelson Mandela taken by ICE because he's from Guatemala and was in the country illegally. He was leading the revolution to fight against ICE, and he just got arrested. So you get to re-witness if history were to repeat itself, but given different circumstance, what would that look like? Guess who's next? Adolf Hitler in a Jewish family in Brooklyn. Pro-capitalist revolt in Hong Kong. Leading the resistance, favoring democracy and capitalism against the Chinese. Martin Luther King is in Russia. This information there is so thick he can't even get a foothold in changing what he knows. Guess who this is? Van Gogh, you might see, has medication in his back pocket to treat his mental illness and becomes a street artist like Banksy and does his own political protest because that's what you do if you're that kind of a mind in this AI age. You can see his name on his shirt. Who is this kind man, so beautiful and dark-skinned? That's Jesus. Jesus, as he's known, as he's brought into a Mexican family in America. And that's what he does on Thanksgiving. He feeds the people like we all should. Cleopatra, she's an influencer.
First things first.
Older than your great grandmother.
Sunbeam glory. I mean, what pyramid doesn't need a spotlight?
So she does her thing. Guess who this is? So this I see as a TV series spinoff. We get to follow the lives as we try to discover who these people are when they grow up. So Darwin is who this is. He's put with a family of fundamentalist Christians that don't believe in evolution, and he has to find out for himself how to change those mindsets. Madame Curie, with a Muslim family who doesn't allow her to do experiments, so she's biohacking. Joan of Arc, who has visions, and they want to study how she's having visions and what does she do with them. And then you see what life is like for the pod people. Everybody's gone into these pods and are living these virtual reality experiences, and they don't want to face the real reality of what's going on in their world or what just happened to them. So everywhere you go, you've got these Dreamweaver, the perfect escape. Dreamweaver Corporation, you can see there. These are people having experiences like this one. So the way I see it is the Matrix comes true, and you get to abdicate your life as a human. Or you can arrive in the city because your Adam's mother is sick with cancer and they need treatment. And they come into a city where everybody's wearing white.
You can stop being self-domesticated sheep and live a life. Come with us.
And they start to advocate and get people to leave the cities and go into nature and see what it feels like. And at first it's tough. They don't know how to survive. They've been self-domesticated sheep for so long, they don't know what it's like to be a wild dog in the elements.
What must I do to walk the ancestral path?
Must understand, family and community are the heart of our existence.
And they learn to work with their hands and to craft with their blood, sweat, and tears, and experience the first kiss and the last goodbye, to practice art deeply, profoundly human. And they go back to the city and see what's gone on. And all of a sudden they bring back, when they came back with their mother with cancer, they sat there and did a performance with their natural clothes. People were freaked out. Who are you? What is this? What's going on? And they started community gardens where they fed fresh vegetables instead of processed foods. And then people just kind of wanted to join in. So architects started bioengineering buildings and started making some where you eat, where you live, and your entire world is becoming naturalized. At a time where this is the IKEA buy your house in a box process. You go and get a box and it expands into a house like this when you get it home.
These numbers seem almost too perfect. Are we sure this data is accurate?
So politics is measured. This is AOC getting a happiness index of 98.7 and a scarcity resource 0, crime rate close to 0. But what are people doing? The people out in Yosemite Valley are doing this. They're living like the first people on Earth ever did.
I'm glad you believe in 7 generations forward thinking.
So that's what we learn. This is what we learn from our ancestral homes, what it is to be storytellers and First Nations people in our own country, without borders, with a collective soul, with being born of purpose and thinking 7 generations ahead. And some people worshiped AI with a religion and burn it. Some people see the wild ones. The wild ones are people who left the city, and they're aghast to see what it is to make your own leather, to feel under your fingertips something so luscious and wonderful and so earthy. They don't understand. This is the art they had. The soulless society where people are on their iPads going around a piece of artwork that just spins in a nothing space. And then the art is brought from the villages and children are engaged. Return to Eden is the third in the trilogy. This is the moment of the Crimea where we have to decide who we're going to be. Are we going to be AI-led? Are we going to abdicate responsibility once again? Are we going to eat from the tree of knowledge and not learned our lesson? So this is where it gets to Return to Eden. This is the dangerous man's.
You can still come back. choose it. I see a kid, eyes like glass, fed by a screen, letting whole days pass. Sugar on the tongue, leash on the mind, call it comfort, but you're falling behind. Headset, halo, pod-shaped throne, you feel safe there, but you're alone. They sell you a dream that don't cost a bruise, but you pay with your life when you don't refuse. I ain't here to shame you, I'm here to name it, 'cause love tells the truth and won't entertainment. Hey, you ones who give up, listen to me. You were born for the climb, you were built to be free. Get your feet in the dirt, feel the mud, feel the sting. You ain't a spectator, you're a living thing. And if you forgot your fire, I'm not letting it die. Return to Eden, kid, lift your eyes. I watch good men rot in a lazy chair, beer in the hand, blank 1,000-yard stare. Dog on the porch, TV talking loud, while their own damn soul got lost in the crowd. You don't need perfect, you need today. One brave step in a hard direction, okay. Make your bed, make a call, make it right. Be the kind of human that can stand the night. Responsibility ain't a prison, it's a key. It opens the door to who you're meant to be. Hey, you ones who give up, listen to me. You were born for the climb, you were built to be free. Get your feet in the dirt, feel the mud, feel the sting. You ain't a spectator, you're a living thing. And if you forgot your fire, I'm not letting it die. Return to Eden, kid, lift your eyes. 7 generations think that far. Not just your cravings, not just your scar. Plant a tree you'll never sit beneath. Tell the truth with your whole damn teeth. We don't inherit this place like a prize. We borrow it, kid, from the ones who rise. Somewhere there's a field of red in the dark. Sweet as mercy, sharp as a spark. Come back to your body, come back to your name, come back to the real world, and take the flame. Hey, you ones who give up, listen to me. You were born for the climb, you were built to be free. Get your hands on the wheel, get your heart in the fight, not fists in the air, get your soul upright. If you want a new world, you don't beg, you build. Return to Eden, kid, live on, kill. Who are you? We rise, we rise. What do you do? We rise. What do you carry? Get in trouble. Good trouble, necessary trouble.
So there's one more song. This is worth it. Let's wait for the end. So Grandpa, the dangerous man, and his wife, who passed away at this point, this is the family together with now their son married and their grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
hear the old world in the wind at night, but I see a new one in the morning light.
We walked out past the cities of sleep, past the glowing caves where the lost ones keep
their hearts on mute and their hands off the wheel, till the ground reminded us what is real.
We carried water like a quiet vow, planted small trees and we made it somehow.
And every mile the noise grew thin, like the earth was waiting to let us in.
7 generations in a single breath, not just a life but a life past death.
We don't own this miracle sky, we borrow it, then we wonder why. This is the return to Eden, not a dream, not a lie. A promised land you build with your own 2 hands and a wide open sky. We burn our sins down to ash, then we plant something true, and the machine of love and grace walks beside what we choose to do. Oh, we're stardust, learning to shine, starlight, star bright in the line.
I watched you grow from a fierce little spark, through the smoke, through the doubts, through the dark. You found your compass when the world went cold, not in comfort, son, in the truths you told.
Your mother and me, we tried our best to teach you the weight of the words we're blessed.
Blessed ain't money, blessed is time, blessed is choosing the harder climb.
The Lord will forgive if we finally learn, if we stop the taking and start the return. If we hear our better angels sing, we'll be worthy of everything. This is the return to Eden, not a dream, not a lie. A promised land you build with your own 2 hands and a wide open sky. We burn our sins down to ash, then we plant something true, and the machine of loving grace walks beside what we choose to do. Oh, we're stardust, learning to shine, starlight, star bright in the line. Grandpa, I still hear you in the timber and rain, in the way you said my name like it mattered again.
You didn't hand me a crown, you handed me work. You taught me good trouble and how to not quit when it hurts. Now I've got a son with your fire in his grin, and a daughter with a wild light under her skin.
And when they ask me what freedom costs,
I tell them everything easy is what you lost.
red fields in the distance, sweet as a prayer,
a forever kind of morning hanging in the air.
This is the return to Eden, not a dream, not a lie. A promised land you build with your own 2 hands and a wide open sky. We lay down war and famine, we lay down fear and pride, and the machine of loving grace helps us keep our better angel alive. Oh, we're stardust, learning to shine, starlight, star bright, generation by generation, back in the line.
If you see a bright one tonight, That's Grandpa.
Still pointing north.
Walls fall. And everybody returns to Yosemite Valley. And the city's more beautiful than ever before. Choose the earth and the struggle. Even in the cities, there's still nature to be brought back with the assistance of AI. Elon Musk is still going to try to mine this and study. His group Colossus will still try to undermine the idea. As in every city, there becomes natural food zones where you can get healthy food, where you can plant it yourself, where you get to touch the dirt with the wild ones who are bringing back hope, building for each other in communities, building back nature to its rightful place. It's part of who we are and where we come from. We go back to the Garden of Eden until we change and we taste strawberry fields forever. That's what it's about. So I thank you from Rick, the Dangerous Man at 66. I hope that you'll see this become a real trilogy of books and movies and merchandise that will fund this change in the world. As a human being, my entire life has been spent for this moment. I knew there was some purpose I'm supposed to have on this God's green earth. I've scuba dived and over 3,000 times around the world and been to 120 countries. And I've seen the beautiful people in Kazan, Russia, and I've lived with them in Shanghai, China. And I know we are the same people that eat strawberries and are surprised with the brilliance of the fruit of the beautiful tree of life and the sweet taste of childhood. And I hope that you'll make my grandchildren's life as beautiful as this is. Thank you for watching. Okay. Are we back? Yeah. Thanks. I'm sorry to take over the whole show, and I hope I just landed it. So, yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, putting up with me. I had to do this. I really had. And I would like to package this up as a separate thing that I can send to the people that might make this happen, because I think it's so far along that maybe just a couple of guys fooling around with AI and having some fun with a sense of humor can, make a difference. That's what I try to do every day. So I try to be a better version of myself every day, and I hope that you enjoyed sharing that with me.
Yeah. And I think your New Year's resolution is to get some sleep.
Thank you, Brandon. Yes, I will. I will. And I guess this is for me a plane landed. I started this 2 years ago. I wrote the first 17 chapters, and I have the whole ecosystem. I've got over. I'm now assembling all the parts. So basically, by feeding it to Google Notebook LM, the shortened version of this, and then going and then taking those images and very carefully crafting. Basically, I had it mass produce each scene from the movie, as if it were movie stills. So I think it's not too bad. I mean, it's a workflow that certainly has a lot of improvements, and I think next time when we join you, so I think that's going to be it for tonight. Is you've got to get going, and I know. Thank you so much, Brandon. I need people like you in my life to remind me of what a beautiful human thing it is. I'm so glad. I'm going to go back and watch because I have access to it. Your episode about you and your family, and I wait that with the beauty that I watched that child eat a strawberry at the end. And as we say in the Resistance, strawberry fields forever. And your response is good trouble, necessary trouble. So let's get there, folks. Good night from a dangerous man, and
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone.